Hi, I'm Adam Shiva, and in this video I want to talk about an experiment that I did for 2 years to break myself of a lot of habits on the way I made decisions and to move into a more intuitive listening way of moving myself through the world. So, this experiment started with carrying a coin in my pocket, and the silver of the coin was meant to be a way of contacting my intuition through a certain kind of crystal metal magic that I was working with at the time. But I started flipping the coin. And usually when someone flips a coin, they will use it to, oh, I don't want to go, and it said to go. This wasn't what I was doing. What I was doing was just listening to whatever the coin said. And that path started taking me down a really shocking and amazing road. So, by contrast, how most people make decisions is based on their little pros and cons list in their head. Oh, that feels good and that feels bad. Well, are those feelings intuition or just avoiding discomfort? Are those pros and cons lists just habituated response, or are they coming from a contact with one's deep values? I had stopped trusting my natural responses to things because I saw how they were holding me in a habit that, though fine, was not like my deepest, truest self. And I wanted to cast that off and kind of step into a new version of myself. So I broke all those habits of all the ways that I made decisions, and I allowed this divination system to make all my decisions for me. So at the beginning it involved this coin, and you'd think that that was just two options, yes or no, but it would show one thing in the air. Just one side would be visible to me. That seemed to be telling me what I wish it would say. And sometimes it would slam onto my palm. And other times it would hit on the end and bounce down. And that gave me a gradient of how strongly and clearly it was telling me something. So, with softer responses, I would consider or think maybe I should go a different direction. And that actually gave me a lot of clarity to adjust my behavior, not just to, oh, here are two options, because sometimes I needed to ask more questions. So that pattern moved towards a die, and the die would give me a range between 1, strong, strong no, 6, strong, strong yes, and 2, no, 5, yes, 3, you're asking the wrong question, 4, yes, but not right now. That gradient allowed me to have this deep conversation with the die that would actually tell me, hey, you're giving yourself only a few options, but you need to back up and rethink this, by giving me many 3s and 4s in a row. Sometimes it also would push me at something where it'd be like, I feel horrible about this. And it would give me 6 6s in a row. Yes, go do it. Through that, I felt like I was having a direct contact with a certain divine power. It also involved a lot of things that would work out for me that made no sense to me. Showing up an hour late to something and having the one person that I was meeting show up an hour and 10 minutes late, at risk of losing a very serious job if they would have shown up before me. So there were so many ways where it was putting me down this path that was potent, kind of this contact with some magical realm, and that was not comfortable to my habits, yet deeply fulfilling. And through that contact, that direct, like, almost, I felt like it was like being able to talk to some greater power and let it just take the reins for me. I also think that you could do the same thing, and if you had less faith, it would be less meaningful, because I was giving a lot of my trust and energy to the die. There was a way of kind of infusing it with my love and trust before I rolled it that would help it give me more useful answers. I think this is a super valuable experience, It took me down a lot of really beautiful and potent paths. It also took me into things that were super uncomfortable, that I really strongly disliked. Yet I think that those were the most direct path towards my long-term values. Hey, you're gonna have to learn this, so let's just learn it the hard way right up front. I really think this was a super cool experiment, and I'm curious if other people could do it, would be willing to do it, or have done anything similar. I appreciate you listening to me. I hope this is of value to you, or at least entertaining. And if you'd share this with others and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. Bye.